Hello and good morning. Welcome to today's session. And I hope that all is going really, really well with you wherever you are in this beautiful world today. So today I wanted to share a few thoughts that I've been having over this last week or so. And it's to do with life being a magical formula. Now, when you say that, it's kind of, life just happens. But actually, we can plan for life. We can make things really exciting and interesting for ourselves. And today I wanted to share with you something that I've been considering in terms of how you create your magical formula for your life. And there's two main things that are going to influence our experience of our lives. And the first thing, of course, is what we put in. Quite literally, what is it that we do, particularly with our physical body, in terms of what we eat, what we drink, how much we exercise, what yoga or meditation we do. All of those things influence and create one part of the scientific formula that can be a formula for success. So that's the first thing, and we'll go into those maybe in a little while. Because the second thing is then what's happening as a result of that. It's also our environment. So, for example, the emotions that we experience, the hormones that create those emotions, and also the life experiences and the environment that's around us. So when you combine those two things, what we put in, like literally our physical eating and drinking, exercise, looking after this amazing body, and then what happens in terms of our environment, and then as in things that happen to us that are variables, and also then our emotions and how we respond to life. Both of those things combined, or all of those things combined, create our experience of our lives. So that's how we do things, how we think about things, how we view what's happening in our world, whether we're positive, whether we're negative, and then also how we are able to respond or not to things that happen that are unexpected. So when we look at those things in a bit more depth, it's important to recognize that I'm not just talking about great food and great drink. It's quite literally planning of our lives as much as we can do if we want a certain result. So when you start out for a scientific experiment, literally you're looking for or to experience what is the end result of what's happening. And therefore you kind of work your way back into creating then the formula. Is it two atoms of hydrogen, or is it one dollop of, it's a bit like cooking as well, isn't it? It's like one dollop of balsamic vinegar I'm fine makes my food really, really tasty. Or one spoonful of bouillon powder, or whatever it is. Those ingredients that we combine together then are what give us our life. So we have to go back. Our job is then to decide what is the experience that we want at the end of at the end of the day. How do we want to live our lives? And then look at what it is that's creating our current life experience. And then literally determine what it is that we might want to adjust or change. So what out of the variables in your environment can you control? So it might be when you wake up in the morning, or it might be how tidy your house is. It might be who you hang out with, who are the people that inspire you, or that you go for walks with. And then also then on the physical aspect, what food are you drinking, when and eating and drinking, and when are you eating and drinking? How calm are you before you eat? Or are you still rushing from one job to another? Are you sitting still? Do you actually take a moment to appreciate with gratitude the food that you're about to eat and ask it to nourish everything within you? Because sometimes, I know that I'm a bit like this, I'm on the fly, I'm literally running from one job to another, and I'll just have, even if I've got a beautiful cooked meal, I might just rush that meal in order to get to the next thing in my life. And in that process, I'm not then absorbing the nutrients in the way that I could do. I'm not enjoying a break from the first half of my day to the second half of my day. I'm literally just rushing through. So these are small things that you can change, and it will then change the outcome. Now, the thing is, as with any experiment, as with any formula, it takes time to go from beginning to end. It's not just an instant fix. You have to put those ingredients together, and a bit like bread, you have to then let it rise before it then goes into the oven and then becomes a beautiful baked loaf. So you actually have to take time with those ingredients, adjust them, tweak them, see what the results are, and if it's more positive results, then stay with it and add the new variable. If it didn't quite work, then go back to the drawing board and adjust and tweak. And the thing is that this whole thing might seem like a lot of work, but if you can keep a little bit of a strategy about how you do this, I guarantee you will feel much more in command of your life, that you feel more in control of who you are and where you're going, and that you have a goal and a vision and a dream that you are working towards. And those big dreams and visions don't have to be unmanageable. They don't have to be for in 10 years' time or 20 years' time. They can literally be, by the end of the week, I want to be calmer, more controlled, or I want to feel more positive about my life. So set yourself some kind of target and then work backwards. What are the variables in your life, and what are the elements or the ingredients, including things like the diet? So that kind of gives you an overview of this kind of formula. And I just wanted to give you an example of why this has come up for me in the last week or so. Because for months, literally months and months and months, my beautiful phone, which is the most extraordinary device in the world ever, I would not be parted from it for anything, has gradually been dying in its battery length. So literally from 100% charge, by lunchtime it would be down to like 5 or 10% or something. It was like ridiculously fast, and I wasn't using it excessively, but sometimes I was playing music or doing a video or whatever it was, and it was literally just going splat. And this has got really quite bad that I was walking around with a charger, and I was like, okay, this is silly, let's get the battery replaced. So I ordered battery. One of my good friends then changed the battery, charged it up, and that was on Saturday, and now it's Monday, and I still have not needed to charge the phone. I'm still at like 60% battery. That's crazy for like 2 days later. Now, what it really reminded me was that battery length requires charging. Now, I'm going somewhere with this, honest. But if you don't just keep your battery plugged in, if you don't overcharge your battery, it is actually better for the battery health. Now, why I'm saying that is also because quite often we overdo the things that we enjoy. Like, we like to be charged up in our batteries. We enjoy maybe caffeine or sugar or things that really kind of nurture our minds and our hearts. And sometimes I think we might overdo those things. A bit like my phone battery really likes being charged. I like it to be charged up to 100%. So over-stimulating, over-putting in those ingredients can actually be detrimental to our understanding and our experience. So that's the only slight word of caution that I would say, or experience when you start looking at your formula. Make sure that you're not overdosing on certain things, and where are you undercutting your game. For example, exercise. I know we kind of think, yeah, I do enough. I go up and down the stairs. I go for a 20-minute walk down to the shop. We need more than that. We need more focused exercise as well. We need aerobic exercise, and we need the strengthening and the toning. So it's really important, for example, that you keep your balance as well. So those are just a couple of practical examples of what you're putting into your formula, and hopefully that will then determine everything that you experience afterwards as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this has been of some value. It's the beginning of the week, it's a Monday, so this is the perfect day to start adjusting that formula for the rest of your week. And of course, if you're free on Wednesday, we have a beautiful masterclass session with Chandra Goswami, who will be introducing some of the yoga scriptures. So if this is something that's interesting to you, or you just want to find out just a little bit more, then have a click onto the links onto our dryoga.com homepage and have a look. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye for now.